MacKenzie Scott files for divorce from second husband Dan Jewett, The Washington Post. MacKenzie Scott, who was married to Amazon founder Jeff Bezos for 25 years, has filed for divorce from her second husband, Dan Jewett. MacKenzie Scott, a billionaire philanthropist who has donated vast sums of her wealth in recent years, has filed for divorce from her second husband, a science teacher whom she married in 2021. The P+2879 Chars. Queen Elizabeth II's official cause of death released. Fox News. Queen Elizabeth II's death certificate was released to the public on Thursday. The 96-year-old monarch's cause of death was listed as old age. Queen Elizabeth II's official cause of death was released Thursday. The 96-year-old monarch died of old age. The certificate, published by National Records of Scotland, records that Elizabeth died. +3556 Chars. Kids are 20% more likely to have ADHD. Sleeping problems if mom took Tylenol while pregnant. Study. New York Post. Women who take painkillers could be increasing their babies' odds for developing attention disorders and sleeping problems. New research suggests women who take painkillers could be increasing their babies' odds for developing attention disorders and sleeping problems. A new study suggests, using data from the first baby study in Pennsylvania, +1945 Chars. Start Week 4. Reviewing all fantasy-relevant players in every single game. QB list. QB list. Photos by Icon Sportswire. Adapted by Justin Paradis. At Just Paradesigns on Twitter. Here we are in Week 4 of the NFL season. Injuries are starting to take a toll and bye weeks are just around the corner. Fantasy managers are beginning to look at if their team can make a run at the C. +631 Chars. A Diglett-like Pokémon called Wiglet has been revealed for Scarlet and Violet. Eurogamer.net. Wiglet, a Pokémon easily confused for Diglett, is a new species that'll appear in Scarlet and Violet. It lives in sand and is unique to the Paldea region. Update the 22nd of September 29. An official video of Wiglet has been shared on Twitter. The video shows new footage of Wiglet not shown in yesterday's stream. Wiglet is confirmed to be a water-type Pokémon. And +3302 Chars. Lordstown Motors begins production of its endurance electric pickup truck, CNBC. Lordstown said it's on track to build about 50 of its electric endurance pickups for customers by year-end. Lordstown Motors said that it has begun commercial production of the Endurance, an electric pickup truck designed for commercial fleet use. Lordstown shares fell below $2 in morning trading. The Co. +916 Chars. Hocus Pocus 2 casts a spell as a modern Halloween classic. Gizmodo. Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy Najimy return as the Sanderson sisters for the Disney Plus release. Just in time for spooky season. Hocus Pocus 2 sweeps in to mark the start of the Halloween season with a spellbinding sequel. The Sanderson sisters don't miss a step with the legendary Bette Midler. S.A. +5513 Chars. Queen Elizabeth II's official cause of death released. Fox News. Queen Elizabeth II's death certificate was released to the public on Thursday. The 96-year-old monarch's cause of death was listed as old age. Queen Elizabeth II's official cause of death was released Thursday. The 96-year-old monarch died of old age. The certificate, published by National Records of Scotland, records that Elizabeth died. Plus 3556 Chars. Taking antidepressants long-term increases your risk of killer condition. The U.S. Sun. Taking antidepressants long-term could increase your risk of a silent killer. Experts have warned. The drugs used to treat clinical depression, as well as other conditions like OCD and PTSD. ATAR. Plus 6206 Chars. NASA just made a close flyby of Jupiter's most intriguing moon, Ars Technica. We are screaming by pretty fast. In large, the best images we have of Europa were gathered more than 2 decades ago. 43 with 33 posters participating. On Thursday morning, NASA's Juno spacecraft swooped down to within 358 kilometers of the plus 2919 Chars. Brett Favre's foundation, aimed at helping children and cancer patients, gave funds to USM Athletics, The Athletic. From 2018 to 2020, Brett Favre's charitable foundation, Favre for Hope, which has a stated mission to support disadvantaged children and cancer patients, donated more than $130,000 to the University of Southern Mississippi Athletic Foundation during the same years. From 2018 to 2020, Brett Favre's charitable foundation, Favre for Hope, which has a stated mission to support disadvantaged children and cancer patients, donated more than $130,000 to the University of So. Plus 1310 Chars. 2023 BMW Z4 S-Drive 20i. S-Drive 30i revealed in Configurator along with new colors, BMW BLOG. The 2023 BMW Z4 Configurator is already up and running in Germany, where customers can build the non-M performance models as well. With all eyes on the XM, it's easy to forget BMW also gave the Z4 a minuscule facelift this week. The G29 was presented exclusively in the M40i spicy flavor with one of the 3 fresh colors. Thundern. Plus 1785 Chars. The sticky, high prices unlikely to come down anytime soon, The Wall Street Journal. When the prices of some goods and services go up, they tend to stay up even when overall inflation levels off. Americans struggling to adjust to inflation want to know when the rising costs of food, appliances and other necessities will come down. Yet prices for some items such as household furnishings and plus 498 Chars. Kendall and Kylie Jenner expressed their concern over Khloe Kardashian's extreme weight loss, and her reaction was heartbreaking. BuzzFeed News. Khloe has previously opened up about her body image battle after being branded the Fat Sister when she and her family first found fame. Null. Hurricane Ian devastates SW Florida. Sanibel Causeway will need to be rebuilt, governor says. Fox 13 Tampa. Hurricane Ian left a path of destruction in southwest Florida, leaving behind a partially collapsed Sanibel Causeway, the Lee County sheriff said, while he doesn't have any confirmed figures. He believes the fatalities are in the hundreds. Fort Myers. FLA. Hurricane Ian swamped southwest Florida, leaving behind a damaged power infrastructure in 2 counties, turning streets into rivers and damaging 2 bridges, including the Sanibel +4610 Chars. Bitten by Fox. Rep. Berra introduces bill to reduce cost of rabies vaccine. The Washington Post. Rep. Amy Berra. D. Califf, a physician, received a regimen of immunoglobulin and rabies shots in April after a fox bit him while he was walking near the Russell Senate office building. Rep. Amy Berra. D. Califf has introduced legislation aimed at reducing the cost of the rabies vaccine for uninsured Americans, months after a fox bit him as he was walking on Capitol Hill. Despite Bay +2183 Chars. Earth asteroid impacts mirrored on Moon, including the Dinosaur Killer, SciTech Daily. Lunar glass shows Moon asteroid impacts mirrored on Earth. Scientists have found asteroid impacts on the Moon millions of years ago coincided precisely with some of the largest meteorite impacts on Earth, such as the one that wiped out the dinosaurs. Additioner. Lunar craters. Credit and AMP. Copyright Eduardo Chaberga Popo. Lunar glass shows Moon asteroid impacts mirrored on Earth. Scientists have found asteroid impacts on the Moon millions of years ago. +3397 Chars. Dolphins Tua Tagovailoa expected to play Thursday night versus Bengals despite back, ankle injuries. Per report, CBS Sports. Miami's QB was classified as a limited participant on Tuesday and Wednesday. The Miami Dolphins officially listed Tua Tagovailoa as questionable to play Thursday night against the Cincinnati Bengals due to back and ankle injuries, but the third-year quarterback is expected to +1465 Chars. Overwatch 2 review in progress. IGN. Our early review impressions of Overwatch 2 before the hero shooter gets ready to launch on October 4th. Here are my early impressions of Overwatch 2 after playing for several hours. For my full-scored review, check back next week when Overwatch 2 launches. Is Overwatch 2 truly a sequel? It's a question. +16030 Chars. U.S. economy shrank in the first half of 2022. Updated GDP figures confirm. MarketWatch. Debate over whether U.S. fell into recession left unsettled. The numbers. The U.S. shrank in the first 6 months of the year. Revised government figures confirm, and painted a picture of economy buffeted by strong headwinds and tailwinds. Gross domestic produce. +3338 Chars. Marvel's Blade. Mahershala Ali reportedly, very frustrated with the process. IGN. IGN. Putin to proclaim rule over seized Ukrainian land in speech. Reuters.com. President Vladimir Putin will sign documents on Friday proclaiming Russia's annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions, as Moscow rushes to lock in territorial claims that the Ukrainian army is threatening to reverse on the battlefield. London. September 29. Reuters. President Vladimir Putin will sign documents on Friday proclaiming Russia's annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions, as Moscow rushes to lock in territorial claims that the U+6299 Chars. What happened to monkeypox? Answers to your most pressing questions. The Washington Post. Monkeypox vaccines appear to be working in stemming the outbreak. But severe symptoms and inequality persist. New monkeypox cases are declining in the United States, a trend public health officials and clinicians attribute to vaccination and changes in behavior. Eligible individuals who did not receive the +766 CHARS watch live early Thursday. Cosmonauts departing space station. Space.com. Expedition 67 cosmonauts Oleg Artemyev, Denis Matveyev and Sergei Korsakov are returning home. 3 Russian cosmonauts will return to Earth Thursday, Sept. 29. And you can watch the whole thing live. Expedition 67 cosmonauts Oleg Artemyev, Denis Matveyev and Sergei Korsakov will fly back to +3076 CHARS. Video shows Bears coaches masterfully handling Justin Fields' struggles. Sports mockery. Justin Fields struggled again last Sunday against Houston. It would have been easy for the Bears coaches to be frustrated. They weren't. Justin Fields isn't having the best start to the 2022 season. He is the worst-rated starting quarterback in the NFL, having failed even to crack 300 passing yards total in 3 games. That is hard T. +2158 CHARS. The Night Witch. Release date trailer. Nintendo Switch. Nintendo of America. The Night Witch is coming to Nintendo Switch on November 29, 2022. The Night Witch is an adventure game with fast-paced shoot 'em up combat set in a bow. Null